Hello, everybody. Good morning and welcome to That's Football. I'm joined by Don Robbie. He's feeling good. They beat PSV 7-1. They're heading to Old Trafford to play. I'll tell you what, you've got 7. I'll give you 3. You can have 3 points at the weekend. We're going to talk about Man United against Arsenal. We've also got win, lose or draw. It don't get any better for me. He was winning by 3 points last week. He went Brighton against Newcastle in the Cup. So I already know that gap's getting bigger. But the gap's absolutely massive between Man United and Arsenal on and off the pitch. I've got to say, Robbie, I'm getting vibes of 2002 Old Trafford when you came and won the title. I can't think of an Arsenal Man United game that's got. I mean, I agree with the manager. It's for us. It's about getting through that game without fatigue and injury because sadly, it doesn't mean anything. If you beat us 2-0, I'd probably take it now if we played the kids because we were so tired last night against Sociedad, and that's our season next Thursday.
Yeah, you know what? When I was sort of looking at this game, I was thinking I want Arsenal to finish the season strongly, right? Even though, we're not going to win the league now. Liverpool are too far ahead. But I want Arsenal to finish the season strongly. And so I'm like, I want us to win these sort of games. And when I was sort of looking at this game, I was thinking, sandwiched in between, our most important game of the season against PSV as it stands. What sort of team will we put out? Will we make changes? Stuff like that. But now, after that result the other night, winning by 7-1, bar an absolute disaster of epic proportions, Arsenal are going to go through to the next round of the Champions League. So this game, we can actually go for this game. The game where we can rest players is actually the second leg against PSV, which we would never have thought we'd been able to do that. So we can go full pelt at this game. And, I want Arsenal to go full pelt at this game because even though it doesn't really mean anything, the position that you guys are in, also the position we're in, for me, it's still a huge game in English football, in world football. There's still pride to play for. And as I said, I want to finish the season strongly. So I want Arsenal to go with their strongest possible team. The way it's worked out for you guys is that the biggest game for you guys is next week, Thursday, when you play Sociedad in the second leg. So I want us to push on this game. I thought you lot was a little bit better in that game against Sociedad. You should probably have won it. I didn't think Sociedad were a very good side. And I do think you'll go through in that second leg. But this game on Sunday, I want Arsenal to go out there and play like how they did against PSV, which they were positive from minute 1. They were excellent.
Yeah, they were good, yeah. They were. And I think just looking at it, you got Chelsea next weekend. That's when you get your game in hand back because Liverpool are in the Carabao Cup final against Newcastle. So look, there's no reason for Arsenal to think about taking their foot off the pedal. If you did, you might open the door to Man City. And, as much as you're probably not going to win the league, I think we'd both agree on that, it would be, you don't want to finish third. So, and also, if it was the other way around and we just won 7-1 in the Champions League and you were struggling in the Europa and you had injuries and you were tired and we were going to the Emirates, I'd be sat here thinking exactly the same thing. It's still Man United against Arsenal. And if we can beat them 7-0, the scoreline history books say 7-0. It doesn't say asterisk Man United were tired because of Sociedad or they're thinking about Sociedad. So, yeah, I mean, the funny thing is, well, it's not funny. We've got protests. A lot of this going on in football at the moment. Chelsea are doing Arsenal. Big protests from the 1958 group, which is a real positive because there's a lot going on. We did get a Liverpool game cancelled at one point. There's a lot of people like me that are like, well, it's not a bad game to get called off, actually. I mean, that won't happen. And to be honest, it's not from a points point of view. Arsenal will beat us anyway. But yeah, I'm looking at this game, and I did watch the Arsenal game on Tuesday night. And even though you haven't got a striker, I think it's quite refreshing to actually, because we blew it last year. The Premier League is strong this year. I know PSG, bit of a smash and grab from Liverpool, but Bruges knocked Atalanta out. Villa did really well against them. PSV are second in the Eredivisie. They knocked Juventus out. Arsenal wiped the floor with them. I thought United were better than Sociedad. I mean, obviously Spurs let us all down, of course, but yeah, I think it's the Premier League's in a good state at the moment. And but look, as I said, I don't even want people like De Ligt or Bruno to play 10 minutes because you just want that freshness for the Thursday game. But he's in a difficult position.
You've got to play Bruno. You have to play Bruno.
If I don't think we've got 11 kids who could play anyway. So you've got to play some of the senior players, but it's Arsenal, isn't it? You can't. I don't think you can't half-hearted play anyway. Bruno's not going to not try, is he? So it's a difficult game for United, and I'd be, as I say, I'd be happy with a 2-0. But what are your thoughts on scoreline? Because the way you're playing, it could be a rout.
Well, listen, it won't. I don't know. People thinking about sevens and things like that. It's Manchester United. You know, we played them in the FA Cup, right? And everybody thought that we win that, and he didn't. He ended up in a draw in full time, and then it went to penalties. I remember last year. I think last year we were a better team, the way we were performing, than we are this year. It was only 1-0. You know what I mean? So I think the game's going to be tighter. I think it'd be. I'm going to go for like 3-1 to Arsenal. And it could have been. I think it'd be, you know, the reason why I'm speaking like that is when you come off the back of scoring 7, you're feeling confident you can score more goals. The players are feeling confident. There's a lot of players in that team that needed a step-up game like Martin Odegaard, and he produced it. So, and I saw signs in the Nottingham Forest game that Arsenal were more positive in their approach and were on the front foot. So, and I just feel that United are on a bit of a downer, and you know, I've never seen United fans so negative about their team. And you've got the protests, which I agree with those protests, by the way. You know what I mean? I support those United fans on that protest when I see what's going on at the club. You know, this is Man United, and the way it's being ruined by owners and ownership, and you know, the regular people that are getting fired from jobs at United. It's really sad to see, and I agree 100% with those protests that are going on. These ain't just whinging fans. These are fans that they're going through it. It's not like even fans that are feeling like they're entitled. They just want their club to be run properly. That's it. And it's being run awfully at the moment. And you imagine when you've got big institutions, even outside football, that's being run this badly, heads roll like right at the top, and these guys are just getting away with it. So the fans are right to be protesting. But yeah, I'm going to go 3-1 Arsenal. Yeah,
I mean, we spoke about this last week just before we get into win, lose or draw. Look, if you're not a United fan and you don't understand the protests, it's been going on for 20 years, the way they've run the club into the ground, the debt, you know, the ticket prices, the stadium. But look at the bench last night against Sociedad. We had no striker. We had no winger. Lindelof and Lindelof and Eriksen were basically our bench. I mean, there's no attackers there. And this is because in January, they let Rashford go. They let Anthony go. They brought nobody in. Rasmus is playing dreadful. We've you know, Sociedad in the last 20 minutes, when I think about it, they were good because they had a bench. Like they could actually bring fresh players on. I'm going to go Arsenal 2-0. I think actually defensively we're not too bad. So I wouldn't expect us to implode, but it depends what team he puts out. But yeah, I'm going to go 2-0 on that. Yeah. Let's get into win, lose or draw. So Robbie was winning by 3 points last week. And I can tell you that we did an FA Cup week, which I shouldn't have done because we basically got a lot right. We both went for Villa to beat Cardiff, Palace to beat Millwall, Bournemouth to beat Wolves, City to beat Plymouth, and Forest to beat Ipswich. But the differentials were 3. I went for Preston to beat Burnley, which closed the gap to 2.
Yeah, that's a good one.
But Robbie went for Fulham over United, which I'm annoyed about because on the United stand, I did say Fulham win, but I was trying to claw points back. So I went United. So that's back to a 3-point gap. And I've got to say, he is the Don on this one. He's got a 4-point gap because he went Brighton to win at Newcastle in the Cup. And I can't say anything other than I'm in awe, Robbie. I mean, I think that I
told you that was going to be the shock of the weekend, isn't it? I knew
he did Southampton Ipswich the other week, and then he's done that. Where does he pull it from, eh? Not his arse. He's got it going on here. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
All right,
4-point gap.
4-point gap. Yeah. Right, let me increase that this week now.
Well, I've got a bonus one, actually. I've got a bonus game for this,
right.
which you'll know what the game is when I get to it. But there is a bonus game beyond the Premier League as well, and it could go either way. So we'll have a look at that one. But we've done Arsenal, Man United. We've both gone with an Arsenal win there. Let's go to the 12:30 game. Forest at home to Man City. It's 3rd against 4th, isn't it? So it could be the time where Forest actually lose that 3rd place. But Man City at Forest. You can start, Robbie. It's a tough one, though, this. I think I need a minute myself.
Tough to call this game, right? Because on the one hand, City will dominate that game. I mean, we dominated Forest, but we just didn't have the firepower. City do have the firepower in Mamouche and Haaland. But then on the counter attack, City are so vulnerable, and Forest are so good. I'm gonna have to sit on the fence
as well,
on
isn't
this
it?
one.
It's such a big game as well.
Yeah, and this is a huge game for Forest, and both of them.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go for a draw. I can't separate the two, man, because they both got weapons to beat each other, and it's whichever one of those weapons come out on top. So because I can't, I'm just gonna go draw.
Yeah, I can't go draw because it's such a differential. It could go either way. So I've got to go different to Robbie here. Pains me to say it, and I'd love to be wrong. I'm going to go City win. Yeah,
City win.
But
Okay.
I nearly went Forest win. Brighton, 3:00 games. We've got Brighton against Fulham. Again, interesting game that. Brighton doing really well at the moment. Yeah. Fulham, obviously, I watched them last week against United. I'm going to go Brighton. Again, the Premier League's so unpredictable. We had one 2 weeks ago, didn't we, where everyone won away. Yeah. But I think Fulham against United, again, they didn't impress me massively. So I'm going to go Brighton.
I'm going to go Brighton as well. I wasn't impressed with Fulham. I thought Fulham, they edged it against you guys' penalties, but I didn't think they were as good as I thought they were going to be. And Brighton, at the moment, they're on fire. Welbeck's playing well. They're all playing well. They're playing ever since they got thrashed 7-0, that's woken them up, and they're playing good. So I'm going to go for a Brighton win.
We got Crystal Palace against Ipswich. We say it every single week, Robbie. Ipswich, if they're going to survive, they've got to start winning games of football. They're at Selhurst Park. I've always said it's a tough place to go. You're first on this one.
I don't know if Mateta's back. Probably not. But for me, I can't see Ipswich going to Palace and win. No chance. Palace win all day long for me.
Yeah, I can't start taking risks on this with a 4-point gap. So I'm going to go Palace. Yeah,
you get nervy now. You get a bit nervous now, right?
I might take a risk.
Safe.
I might take a risk on the next one. I must admit, when I looked at this midweek and I thought, if Arsenal had been in a title race, you'd look at this and what you were talking about, lucky Liverpool. Look at what they've got in between PSG. Southamton at home. I mean, it's just brilliant, isn't it?
I said it the other day, right? And some Liverpool fans are getting on to me. Oh, we haven't been lucky. I didn't say they were completely lucky. They deserve to be where they are because they've got even that game the other night. Even though Alisson was brilliant, even though they were very fortunate not to go down to 10 men, what they do have is firepower, right? So they bring Elliott on, Núñez. Those two change the game. They win it. That's to their credit. But I keep saying it, man. I hear that Isak could be out of the final now as well next week. No Gordon. The other night should have had a man sent off, weren't sent off, right? Now they got Southampton in between that game against PSG, right? I'm told this is the perfect season for these guys, right? Everything, no injuries at these key moments. It's going perfectly, but they are a great side. And listen. Well, are you going first? I mean, do anyone need to go first?
I ain't gambling on this one. I'm sorry, Southampton. I think we're both going to Liverpool win, aren't we?
Liverpool is the most obvious win of the week. If they don't win this, I mean, that would be the shock of the season.
Title race might be back on if they don't win this.
They're not losing this. Easy win.
I think the interesting thing is, though, is like, you're right. I mean, we've both seen our teams win titles, some longer. Well, look, it's been a long while for you. You've been in title races, but you do get a theme of luck, and maybe Liverpool fans have forgotten that. I mean, I think about the treble, like the FA Cup semi-final, Bergkamp missed a penalty right at the end of the game. So Giggs never would have took his top off if he had scored that. Obviously, Bayern Munich played better than us, and we won it at the end. We had a few moments like that. Solskjaer in the FA Cup as well against Liverpool. So, look, there's nothing wrong with being lucky. I think we'd all love to be getting a bit of luck. Yeah. 5:30 game. Again, an interesting one. Brentford, they don't seem to move up the league, Brentford, but they've had some good results recently. At home, Aston Villa, they've had a little bit of they're still not scoring enough goals, I don't think, but I was talking about this yesterday, Robbie. It looks like 5th place will get Champions League because we're doing so well in the point scoring for that. I think 6 points separates 3rd to 10th, and Villa are 6 points off. So they've got to go there and win.
Have to win.
I don't remember. Is this me first? I think it is. No, it's you first, actually.
I'm going Brentford. Villa have got away with it in certain games recently. Great result for them during the week at Club Brugge, but Brentford, no game, chilling out, and they're a good energy on the counter attack. Dangerous team at home when they're full of energy, man. I'm going Brentford.
I think Villa have got to win it. I don't think they will win it, but I've got to start getting points. So I'm going to go draw Brentford Villa. I think Robbie's nailed it completely. I think Brentford will be energetic. They're brilliant at home. Villa will be tired, but they've got a bit of low rotation in the front three. So I want to go with a draw for that. But Villa, I tell you what, if Villa win there, I'll take the hat off. It'd be a very, very good result.
Yeah,
8 o'clock game, Robbie. I won't be watching this. Wolves against Everton at 8 o'clock on a Saturday night. I mean, bloody hell, that I'd rather watch Strictly or whatever else is on than that. But Wolves, no Cunha. Do need a win. But then again, they're going to be looking at Ipswich and they're going to go, they're not won at 3 o'clock. So I'm going to go draw here because I just don't think it will not suit Wolves. Yeah. So I'm going to go draw.
No Cunha, no pie, right? And Everton, that sort of rugged, hard to play against, difficult team. Again, decent on the counter attack. Everton win for me.
There we go. Differentials again. We step into Sunday. 2 o'clock games. We've got Chelsea against Leicester and we've got Tottenham against Bournemouth. We'll go Chelsea, Leicester. Again, another team that could stay up, Robbie. Stamford Bridge, Leicester. Any chance?
Who could stay up? Leicester. They're gone, mate. I've seen enough of them to say that they're definitely going down. And they ain't beating Chelsea. Chelsea,
game for Chelsea, innit?
Chelsea, yeah, and they rest half of their team when they're playing it. Although they did play a few more of their players in their game on Thursday, but yeah, it's Chelsea all day long, man. I can't see Leicester getting anything out of this.
Yeah, Chelsea win, and as I say, in that race for top 4 or 5, it's a good game for Chelsea. Tottenham home to Bournemouth might be a little bit more difficult. I actually think I'm going to give this a spin before the United game, actually, because Tottenham,
good game.
Thursday night, big game, lost, played their strong team. Bournemouth, week off, and a bit of a wobble, but they're right in it for top 4. I'm first on this one. Shit. I'm going to go Bournemouth win, actually. I think it's got all the ingredients for a Bournemouth win. And Spurs fans, you should be very happy about that because I can't get your results at all. When I go against you, you win. So, but I am going to go Bournemouth. I think it's got the ingredients. Could be a draw, but I'll go with a win.
I'm going for a Bournemouth win. Bournemouth are a better team than Spurs by a mile. Look at them Spurs the other night. That's their biggest game of the season. Look at him last night.
Isn't it?
And what was that? What kind of performance was that? Listen, I don't like Spurs. They're our biggest rivals, right? But even I saw some of their fans when I was coming back from Holland the other day, as we were sort of waiting to board the plane. I saw some of their fans coming off of a plane, and I'm thinking they travelled all the way there to see that rubbish from their team, man. I mean, it's crazy. Like you'd have thought they'd be up for that game, and Bournemouth will be up for this game. And then Spurs, they got that game on Thursday to think about. They're 1-0 down.
It's like United,
their season. If they lose to AZ Alkmaar or draw, they are out, right? Yeah. So that's going to be playing on their mind. I think this is a Bournemouth win.
Me and Robbie are switched on. You see, we're not Troy Deeney. We don't just go and get a bloody runner to tell us what to do. We're like, we're switched on. Tottenham got a bigger game on Thursday. They've got to rest players. Bournemouth are up for it. Yeah, we've done Man United, Arsenal. I've got a bonus one, but last one, West Ham, Newcastle at West Ham.
Ooh, good game.
Newcastle got a big game at the weekend, but have they got a big game at the weekend, Robbie? Because they're in that top 5 race. Would you rather get top 5 or the Carabao Cup? I was going to ask you that. So you can go first on that and answer that. I mean, what's more important to them?
I think Newcastle fans would rather the Carabao Cup.
Yeah.
I remember when we went up there and we was paying them in that Carabao Cup semi-final, this Newcastle fan said to me, he goes, if I was to die tomorrow and we won the Carabao Cup, I'd be satisfied. I go, the Carabao Cup die? He said, yeah. Right, so they want that badly. And I know, speaking to a lot of their fans,
since the 60s, have they?
Yeah, they want a trophy, right? It's a tough game for them. West Ham have picked up a little bit of form. They're digging in a bit. This is another surprise. No Gordon. West Ham win for me.
I'll differentiate and go with the draw, but I do again bow down to Don Robbie in he's working out here, because I just think we've all been in that position. You're also thinking about that final.
It's on your mind.
Do I want to go in for that 50-50? Do I want to stretch for that? So it could be a real good opportunity for West Ham.
If there is any doubt on Isak, they ain't going to play him, are they? Because now Gordon's out. I mean, what was Gordon doing last week? What was he doing? And now he's out of the final. I feel sorry for him, you know what I mean? But West Ham's away is not the type of game, the way they're playing, sort of dogged, digging in, bowing up front, sitting deep. Nah, that's not the type of game I think you want just before a cup final.
I'll tell you what, though, Newcastle, I understand why you'd want the trophy, but if you could win on Monday, you're not beating Liverpool anyway, and that's going to help you out for the Champions League. So, have a go on Monday. I need the points.
What's this bonus game then? What is
this bonus game? Well, look, I've been involved in it, and I'm not involved in it this year, but there's a big game going on. It's the Sidemen, it's the charity thing. So I thought, what? Yeah, Sidemen against the YouTube Allstars.
I'm there. You there? You there tomorrow?
I didn't get.
You're not there.
No, I did get. Actually, I tell a lie. I did get invited to go. But
you're not managing this year.
Nah, I'm not involved this year.
But you've had wins, haven't you?
No.
Oh, that's why then. You've been
sacked. But to be fair, last year when I did it, I said that YouTube All-Stars team's crap. I've looked at it this year, and I'm going YouTube All-Stars. They've got Ginger's moved across. He'll be playing at centre back. They've got Chris MD, got Theo Baker. They've got a good spine. They've got a good spine. And I look at the Sidemen team and I go, a lot of their good players are their attackers like Manny and Toby and Miniminter. So I'm going to go YouTube All-Stars. I think this is their year.
I can't believe they sacked you, man. Mark Amarin. You know what I mean?
Exactly. A genius who just wasn't given the tools, wasn't backed. Bloody
it's your formation.
Too busy backing their bloody Sidemen eats. They should have been backing. I need to eat. They should be backing Goldbridge. Should be giving me some good bloody players. They get their mate in now. Bloody shit.
Ruben Goldbridge.
Anyway, I'm not bitter.
Goldbridge, man.
I'm not bitter. Right, it's for charity. It's for charity. We're doing it on win, lose, or draw. I'm not bitter. So I'm going to go YouTube All-Stars. Sidemen have won the last 2.
Yeah. I'm going Sidemen then. Like you gone, I'm going to go. I tell you, Mini Min, he's a good player. Manny's a good player. Yeah, it's all going well for Liverpool. Manny, I think he's a big Liverpool fan, isn't he? Right? Yeah.
Toby's Man United and Manny's Liverpool. Yeah.
Yeah. Sidemen.
Theo Baker's going to break down after 5 minutes and do his hip again now. I've
just remember that. Yeah. He's a good player. He is as well. Big Arsenal fan. Big him up.
Yeah. Well, there you go. That's our week. I'm looking forward to it. I think bigger games next week, but there's some cracking Premier League games. Personally, the one Tottenham Bournemouth. I think that's the one
That's a good game.
And Forest Man City as well. Yeah.
Forest Man City is a great game. Yeah, great game that.
Robbie, you're an absolute legend and a gent. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Enjoy
See you Monday.
Your weekend. I'm sure you will. And we'll speak on Monday on DR Sports.
See you Monday.